like to welcome you to Tokyo's Narita International Airport. The local time is 4:25. We will be taxiing for a few minutes. Please remain seated, seatbelts fastened, carry-on luggage stowed until the fasten seatbelt sign is turned off. Before leaving, ensure you have all your personal belongings. Use care when opening the overhead compartments. Contents may have shifted. Do not use your cell phone. Cell phones are not allowed during taxiing in Tokyo. Do not smoke until you're in a designated smoking area. Passengers in transit, our customer service staff will direct you to the transit area. Please check the monitor screens for updated flight information. Thank you for flying on United Airlines, and we wish you a very pleasant good day.
Ooh, that was a long flight, Pete.
We're in my basement, Brian.
I didn't know that.
But that's where we are, and I'm not taking part in this.
2 hours to Chicago. Then we flew out, 3.5 hour layover. Oh, that layover was killer, wasn't it?
You sat in my driveway in your car for 2 hours. I know that. I don't know what you were doing, but whatever fantasy you're living in, I'm not a part of.
12 hour and 45 minutes to Tokyo. I wrote down.
Good for you.
It's 30 degrees Celsius out, 86 degrees Fahrenheit in beautiful Tokyo this July.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that the country's highest peak, Mount Fuji, is an active volcano?
I did know that.
This isn't going to go great for me, is it?
No.
Oh. Well, you like the movie we're doing, at least.
God damn it, I did. I did like it, Brian, and I hate that I like it. It is so good.
We're doing One Cut of the Dead as part of our trip around Asia.
I hate you so much, and I'm so conflicted because I like this movie, but I hate you, and I hate your stupid ideas. I used to like them. Now I don't.
Did you know that a unique Christmas tradition in Japan is eating KFC on Christmas Eve?
I did not.
This is going to be fun. When's the first time you saw One Cut of the Dead?
Not that long ago. Within the last 5 years.
I think it came out in the last 5 years. So that's
I've seen it within the last 5 years. I know that. And then I saw it again a few months ago because Kitty wanted to. Or I was watching it because it's a fun movie to watch.
Yeah.
And Kitty kind of like got sucked in like a tractor beam, just walking by. She's like, huh? And then we're watching. And she liked it too.
I saw it as part of one of the episodes of The Last Drive-In on Shudder with Joe Bob Briggs.
Okay.
And I didn't know what it was. I assumed it was a one-shot zombie movie, which it kind of is, I guess, in one way. But I did not know what it was. I was blown away by it.
100%. What? So I don't know the background. It came out during the lockdown, the pandemic lockdown.
I did not written any of that down. But I did write down that Japan is home to the oldest continuously operating company in the world, Kongo Gumi, a construction company reportedly dating back to 578 AD, over 1,400 years ago.
See, my interest in history is outweighing my hatred.
I know that it cost $25,000 to make, which is stunning. I mean, it's not like you see where the money would go, but just the idea is so good.
Oh, I thought we were talking about the construction company.
That would be a lot
I don't know. I was trying to figure it out.
I just said it was 578 AD.
Maybe. I don't know what the exchange rate is with whatever the money was in 578 AD.
I don't know what the exchange rate is now, but this would have been a perfect time to put it in here if I had written it down.
I see. Oh. You know, I had yen that I pulled out of my coin collection to bring with us. I had that packed in my suitcase.
You packed a suitcase?
Yes, I was
you
trying to get ahead.
Oh.
I was trying to be smart. We were going to be gone for a long time.
You know, what's nice, though, is that we're able to do this nice and early in the morning because you didn't have to work today. Oh, no, you're not happy with me at all. It made $31.2 million worldwide, which is a lot bigger than $25,000.
One Cut of the Dead?
Yeah.
That's cool. I'm happy for them.
It was written and directed by a man named Shinichiro Ueda. And it feels like it was, if I was to guess how this idea came about, it was to do a short film that is like what we would have seen in the first part. Now, they throw in things that obviously connect to later parts that I think wouldn't have been in there. I think the idea was probably to do a short, cheap, when you could budget, one-shot zombie movie. And then I think over the course of trying to figure out how to do it, he discovered how many fun little things he could do if he then pulled the camera back and showed you how it was happening.
I don't know. I didn't think anything into how it was made or what the
Well, I had a long
was.
flight over to think about this.
That's what you were doing in the driveway.
Yes. Did you know that the number 4 is considered unlucky in Japan due to its similarity to the word death?
I did know that one.
Oh. Well, I feel like I've wasted your time today.
Mm-hmm. Did you know that Godzilla attacked Tokyo once?
More than once, I believe.
That's true.
Although a lot of times they get him before he gets to Tokyo. In 54, he got there. I feel like every other time they managed to. That's the whole mission is for him to get to Tokyo. No, he destroys Tokyo a bunch of times. But most of the times he's a hero. You know what? It's neither here nor there.
What? Wait. Is that why we're doing One Cut of the Dead? It's from Japan?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you
Because we're
did
in
this whole...
Japan.
Oh, God. It's worse than I thought.
You didn't even know what the plan was?
Apparently not.
By the way, I want to point out how much better I'm feeling this week than I was last week when we did Megan. You might be able to tell my voice is a little bit stronger
That
this
was a
week than last week.
good time, how miserable you were.
It
All
was pretty
sick
tough.
and dying.
Pretty tough.
Good times.
There are 3 sections in this movie.
Yeah. A
Distinct.
synopsis for anyone. How popular was this movie? A lot of people seen it? It seems like a talked about, a well-regarded movie.
Yeah, I think that because of the last drive-in, a lot of horror fans did see it. Like, it got a lot of buzz around that time. This should be, of all movies we've ever done, this is the one where I feel confident asking you what the 3 acts are.
Oh, shit.
Since they're so distinctly different.
All right. So the first act, it should be obvious. I'm going to say it's where it's all just the one movie, where
Correct.
it's a one, like they do the actual, here's the film. It is one continuous take. And
got
it's, what, like 30 minutes long?
Yep. And I bet you can get the 3rd act, and then whatever's left over I'll
Nope.
accept as the 2nd act.
Nope. From there, I believe there's just a second act. They go ahead and make the movie.
There's a long period where you're getting introduced to the characters and not making the movie yet. They're in pre-production. So let's just say pre-production is the 2nd act. And then the actual shooting of it a second time, or seeing the shooting of it with the camera pulled back so you can see how it's happening, is the 3rd act.
That's a very arbitrary line to draw.
It is not an arbitrary line.
Very.
I think it literally begins with the word action.
I like everyone in this movie so much.
So the synopsis would be, there's a television station starting up. The worst idea for a television station ever, zombie TV.
Why is that the worst ever?
How many?
I've seen what other channels there are. I watched
all
one.
zombie movies?
There's
There's not even an all horror movie TV station.
I watched a channel that was just trains. Like it would just like a camera was attached to the front of the train, and like you just went on the train, I guess, and you looked at the countryside. You like roll through towns, and the little barriers would come down.
Neat.
It was pretty neat.
This was shot in 8 days, and the first act of the movie presents the film within a film. So you don't know that they're shooting the movie yet. It is actors shooting a fake movie, not the movie we're watching, and then a real zombie outbreak breaks out, as far as you know, for the first 37 minutes.
Yes.
And then they yell cut, and you find out, oh, this was a one-shot production of a movie. And then it cuts back in time, and you see the director getting hired against this. He didn't really want to do it because that was a terrible idea. The zombie TV show wants a live one-shot take broadcast of a zombie movie. And it introduces you to him and his wife and his daughter and the actors that are going to play some of the roles as they're trying to get this thing on its feet, even though it's a terrible idea. And then the real genius of this movie, it's an entertaining movie all throughout, but the real genius of this movie comes through in what I call the 3rd act, when they're showing you the movie being shot that you watched at the beginning. And you see how everything that could go wrong just off camera was going wrong. And it is one of the most ingeniously brilliant and hilarious things. And I argue, up there with the most inspirational movies.
I'm with you 100%. This, well, a quick aside. Once you see the filming of the movie, it fills in a lot of the weird
There's
choices.
so many weird little
and
things that happen. Yeah.
Yep. And then once you see, you're like, oh, I see now. And it's great. It is so fun. But it hits everything I love in a movie. Yeah. It is practical effects galore. It is.
I just want to say, before you finish, I'm going to let you finish. But that's a 10-year-old reference now, right?
Who was that? Kanye West?
Yeah. I'm happy for you. I'm going to let you finish. But the things I know that you like in movie are boobs, Kyle MacLachlan's weenus, and Nicolas Cage. And none of those things are in here, unless I missed something.
That's David Lynch movies.
That's right.
That's what I demand in a David Lynch. It's not a David Lynch movie unless I get at least 2 of those things.
Those are the 3 things I've seen you most excited about in all of the movies we've covered.
Well, it's practical effects. Here's what it really is, since, you know condiment eating, motherfucker. It is.
Christ, why am I getting attacked? Oh, wait, I think I know why.
God damn it. You got me so angry, I forgot what I was talking about.
Practical effects.
Practical effects.
Comedy.
Comedy, and it made me happy at the end.
Yeah, that is what you like. I was like, when it's over, I feel like it's the end of Rocky. I'm so excited when they get that last shot.
Me too. I can't explain. And then the cherry on top, when his daughter hands him the picture of when she was a little girl sitting on his shoulders, and to get the last shot, she was on his shoulders again.
It does a thing that I love, where it doesn't take the time to over-explain itself. I understand that they are not as close as they used to be from just one conversation and an old picture. You don't have to spend 40 minutes doing the family drama. So when it pays off, I'm like, oh, that's nice. I don't need more than, oh, that's nice.
I feel that's how you know it's not an American-made film. There's no hammer just bludgeoning you with it.
See, I'm going to disagree with you because I watch a lot of foreign movies, and horror especially. A lot of American movies strip all that out now, and you'd love it because they're 80 minutes long, and they just fly by. All these, not the ones we're going to cover mostly, but all these foreign movies are like full 2-hour productions with real effort put into dynamics of characters and story arcs. And it's kind of like, you always get your money's worth is what I say when you watch like an Indonesian movie. And it's like, it seems like this should be easy. It's a ghost haunting a thing. It's like, but there's going to be deep psychological studies and things in there. And I'm like, I'm always impressed by it because they really go out. They don't shirk on their responsibility to tell a story. They're not just looking for the thrill.
Okay, but when I say bludgeoning, I mean it's just a repetition of the same obvious fact. It's not like adding to a deeper, more complex story.
It's not treating us as being completely stupid.
And I didn't need it. All of the characters in this movie, One Cut of the Dead, had their own little arcs and their own stories going on.
But they don't have to be, every one of them doesn't have to take 2 scenes. It's like some of this just happens in the background.
Yeah. And you get it all, and it makes you so happy again at the end, how they all come together.
It literally ends with them, the crane breaks that they're going to do the last shot from. But you've already seen they got in the shot, which is one of the things that makes the third act so brilliant, is this is going to succeed.
I just
didn't know how. Okay. They have to, all the people that are working on the movie, going through all these struggles, and we'll get to some of those as we go on. They form a human pyramid on top, getting on top of each other to get the last shot. And when they pull that shot off, I'm so like, fuck, I want to make a movie. You know what I mean? That's how I feel when it was over.
In direct defiance of the stupid corporate suits as well. They said, just cut it. We just need you to be adequate, because that's all you are, director.
Yeah.
I didn't know anybody's names. I think his daughter was named Mao.
I think that's right.
And I called his wife Pam, because that's what she kept doing, and it was hysterical.
His wife is very funny in this movie. She is a former actress who... they don't beat you over the head with it, but they mention a couple times, like, she had to stop, and then you find out why. And it is very clear why. She gets far too into character, and she becomes a monster.
I don't know who I like more. It's either her or her husband, the director, or they're both. His energy is so fun.
Yeah, I liked him the most because I like that when you meet him in the first part of the movie, in the actual shooting of the movie, because circumstances happen and he has to take on a part in the movie as the director of the movie. He wasn't supposed to, but he has to. And his wife ends up having to take another part because she knows the script. Right. And this is all at the last second. 2
of the initial people were, in an accident.
But when you're meeting him in the movie, since you're seeing him as the character in the movie instead of himself that we meet later, he's completely psychotic. And he's just popping out of everywhere when the zombies come and going, action! And it's hilarious. And he's a monster. But then you meet him and he's the nicest, kindest person. And it's very funny to watch how everything transpires throughout the movie. Did you know that Japan has a modern constitutional monarchy with a ceremonial emperor?
Kind of.
What do you think he thought of this movie? I didn't write his name down.
I don't know. Are they allowed to watch movies? Like kings and such?
Ceremonial emperor.
Is a ceremonial emperor allowed to watch a movie?
I'm guessing he has nothing but time to do that, yeah.
I thought you had to, like, sit on a throne.
Because you would get that the ceremonial emperor is not the leader of the monarchy, right? Because his position is ceremonial.
An emperor would lead a monarchy? I thought a monarchy was a king.
You would get that the ceremonial emperor is not the leader of the government, right? His position is purely ceremonial.
What's a ceremony?
The guy who watches a lot of movies.
Oh, then he would have seen it. I think he probably liked it. It's a really good movie.
I think so too. The first section is an independent zombie movie where the director raises actual zombies to get the effect he wants. That's the story inside of the movie. He draws a blood pentagram. He's not getting the performances he wants, so he raises actual zombies to terrify and hunt down the people on his crew. A great idea for a movie on its own. And then it's shot in one take, which makes it weird because you have awkward pauses. And then you later discover why those are happening and weird things going on. Like there's a long conversation where they're clearly just making shit up as they go along and trying to fill time. It's because somebody's missing their cue. But you don't know that until the third act. That's why they're standing there awkwardly discussing things that have nothing to do with what's happening.
Or they'll all just be staring off into
Yes.
the distance randomly.
Well, the best one is when his wife, whatever character she plays, has been killed. And she's laying at the end when she's having the final confrontation, and then she just pops up and points at something, and then she gets dragged down, and you don't know what's going on until the third act.
And you find out that her husband, the director, I believe, put her in a sleeper hold to knock her out. And she's like, I'm sorry, but he needs to stop her from just running around like a crazed maniac.
And the first act, the fake movie, features its own arc, where the character in the movie, the lead, I guess the final girl in that movie, is the actress playing it is struggling to perform the scene where she's being attacked by a zombie. And that comes full circle in the end when she's attacked by a, quote, real zombie, and she gives a better performance. So it's got its own little fun little arc to it.
Right.
But it's all fake because we're going to learn.
It's still a story, though.
It
That's
is.
But that's what makes it real.
It's so impressive to me.
I agree. I see.
It even had its own credits, but they were in Japanese, and you must have been fuming when you saw that.
Yeah, that was
Because they give you like 3 different sets of credits in this movie.
And I
2 of them are fake.
I didn't understand anything that was going on. It's just, I got to figure out something. This is going to be a rough, how long are we supposed to be on this? Look at my fingers. Trip.
I'd have to look at your fingers.
Because I made those little air quotes. It's not a trip, but how long are we doing this?
5 weeks.
5?
I mean, you know how long you took off from work. The opening credits for this movie, the actual opening credits, come 40 minutes into the movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's very cool. That's why I really think that like it bored Life as an idea for a short film, and then he figured out that the most fun part of it was trying to figure out how to shoot it, and then thought that's the movie.
Okay. I gotta say, I really like the music too. The music gets me really pumped up and excited for whatever's gonna happen next.
It's a brilliant. Everything about it is so. It's funny, but it's also like I said. I walk away from it going, "Fuck!" I feel like I want to do something.
It's relatively recently, remember, within the last 5 years, but I've seen it 4 times, so that's a lot for me to watch a movie.
Did you know that Japan is known for growing square watermelons?
I did know that. Do you know how they do it?
I didn't write that down though.
They put it in a mold,
Wow.
like a Jello. You know, you can make faces out of any kind of like squash or root vegetable. You just grow it inside of the mold of whatever you want it to be, and it conforms to that shape. So you can have like a real Mr. Potato Head. Although I guess that would just be a potato that you stuck things in. Like Samwise Gamgee, the Hobbit.
Don't do Hobbit shit to me. And that's Lord of the Rings, not the Hobbit.
They're all hobbits.
But Samwise Gamgee's in the Lord of the Rings, not the Hobbit.
Yeah, but he's a hobbit.
Oh, I thought you meant like the book The Hobbit.
Well, that was about a hobbit as well.
But he's not in that book.
He might be. You don't know.
I do know, because the difference in age between the character Bilbo Baggins in that movie and the next one is hundreds of years.
All hundreds of years old. They all live for. I think the Aragorn guy was hundreds of years old. Everybody lives forever in that world.
I saw somebody do a riff on that recently, where
A riff on the
this
Lord
might have
of
been
the
Comedy
Rings?
Bang Bang's 16th anniversary episode. Actually, I think that might have been it, where they said, you know how the Bible, everyone was like thousands of years old, and they're like, you know why that happened, right? Just because like one guy was like, everyone died at 25, and one guy lived to like 40, and they're like, that guy must be 1,000. It just threw off the whole curve, and I was like, that's probably exactly what happened. The second act flashes back to before the movie's made, and we learn all about the people making the film, and the director trying to connect with his daughter, and his wife used to be an actor, and a zombie channel, which again is like the worst idea I've ever heard. I would never watch the zombie channel. I would watch it once and be like, so that's going to be the whole thing?
Zombies. All zombies all the time.
And we see them prepping the actors, some of which are different than the ones we saw in the opening movie.
Guess what? I didn't really put that together.
Well, part of the storyline is watching them fall off. I almost wish that like everybody could have, and there's more characters that could have just been popped in at the last second trying to act.
Okay. I don't want that though. I like
No, it's kind
everything
of perfect
about
the way
it.
it is.
Yeah, no tinkering.
And the third act is where the thing becomes, to my opinion, just pure magic. When you're taken behind the scenes, and it's like a jaw-dropping 30 minutes of enjoying something playing out.
There's so much. I'm just going to devolve into just talking about the guy who couldn't drink the hard water, and he had to have his own special water, and the travesty that befell him.
Yeah, he's got diarrhea, and he's taking a shit right outside the building, and they're missing the time for the shot because he's not out there, and the makeup artist has to get down there while he's taking a shit and start giving him his makeup.
And he's weeping the entire time.
It's pretty great. The director has to take over playing for the director, and the wife has to take over playing the makeup artist in the movie because they were having an affair and got in a car crash. The regular actors.
The cast.
And that's like 2 hours before the show goes live. And then everything that can go wrong does.
Oh, the actor who is struggling with alcoholism gets shit-faced drunk before it starts.
There was a Chekhov's wine bottle. When they're in pre-production, someone gives him a wine bottle. And it's a really good vintage. He's like, we're going to save this for when we finish. And then you see the guy was just like, had already like thrown up purple all over himself. And they see the empty bottle sitting there. And it's like, now they have to like carry him from part to part and like wag him around like he's Bernie.
And it's, again, when you're watching it the first time, it's a completely different perspective.
And then suddenly it's Weekend at Bernie's from the other perspective. It's pretty great.
That's right. It's so much. This is one of those movies that I genuinely like.
It's one of the most creative things that I've ever seen.
And 25,000, you said?
Yep.
That's amazing.
I did say that.
Thanks.
Paying attention to me. That's nice.
You're
I thought you were mad at me, but now I know you're not.
Because of this stupid movie, I am angry at you.
Did you know Japan consists of over 14,000 islands, of which far fewer are inhabited? Honshu is the largest and is referred to as the Japanese mainland. They used to think it was about half that, but I guess they recounted recently. Probably because they screwed up the count, avoiding the number 4.
Did you know that I had a game called Samurai Swords, and you played as a daimyo, and you had to go try to take over all of Japan, and you built your armies, and you had to like raise troops, and it was pretty cool. It would take hours to play.
So you must be real thrilled to seeing the real thing now.
I do want to play that game again, but I don't have it.
Was it a Super Nintendo game?
No, it was a board game.
Oh.
I believe somebody got drunk when we
No
were
wonder
playing
I'm
once.
so bored listening to it.
There were big swords, and you drew them because it was your turn order. Like each sword had a number on it, and somebody melted the end of the giant sword because you put them in your hand, and then glued it onto the crotch of one of the little daimyos who was standing there with his arms on his hips. So he was just kind of ruined that game. That's what I remember last, was him and his giant sword. His crotch sword. That's a penis, Brian.
That's what I was going to say. I knew where it was going. I didn't know how it was getting there.
But that's what it was. It's always a penis. Holy cow, speaking of. So, I was with Kitty the other day.
Makes sense.
Since we're married. And we've been trying very hard to watch Jackass 4.5 because it's just something to have on in the background. And we remember it from back in the day. So it's enjoyable, right? The kids every time we turn it on, the kids come in and we're like, motherfuckers. It's like we got to turn it off. They came in. And they were like, oh, what did they do? They called our bluff somehow. We're like, you guys can't watch it. You know, it's not for you. And they're like, well, no, we can watch it. We know what it is. So we turned it on. Mm-hmm. We were near the end of the movie. And the end of the movie is all the crotch shots. Like, we started off, it was just a tennis player who has like a 200 or 300 mile an hour serve. Mm-hmm. She would slam the ball at all of the guys and hit them in the balls. And they would fall and you're like, ooh. And they would show some pretty like big bruises. Then we get to the one where 4 of them tied a brick to their wieners, and 2 of them were short strings, and the other 2 were long, and they did it. Turns out, Brian, that one of the guys only had 1 testicle. So the noose, probably from like Jackass 2 or Jackass 3, one of those, but the noose slid off of the testicles from around the base and caught on the shaft and then yanked down. Then, with my 12-year-old daughter and my 9-year-old boy, he pulled his pants down and showed his penis with its giant, like ripped, bloody mess that it was. And it was gross. Oh, also, before that, they did watch the scene where they used somebody's balls and dick as a Godzilla. And they watched all of that, too.
Did you get anybody shitting on anything?
No, just it was all dick and balls.
They missed out on the full experience.
All dick and balls. And I think we might have scarred them. I feel like this was a really bad parenting choice.
Yes, but you did it together.
We did it together. This wasn't a single person going rogue. This was a team parent event.
That's right. So you don't have to take any of the blame for it. Well, 50%. Now you probably got all of it. I reasoned this out already. No wonder you're so mad at me. Like you're just in a bad mood. That's what it is, right? Yeah. Aren't you glad to have had that family time? Anyway, here's a fun fact. Japan experiences around 1,500 earthquakes annually, which means there are about 28 during our week here.
How many of them are Godzilla related?
I assume at least one per year. Well, maybe one every 3 years, maybe.
Is that what it is
There's
now?
a new one coming from the same director. It's going to be a direct sequel.
To what?
Godzilla -1.
Oh, I didn't know if it was another one of the legendary ones.
No, the good ones.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure there is
direct
definitely
sequel?
another. There's definitely another Kong and
Oh.
Godzilla movie coming because I know Dan Stevens is coming back.
I don't know who that is.
I know he's from The Guest.
Who's the guest?
Yeah, we both have things with each other at this point. I think is fair to say. You know that there are places in Japan where deer will bow to you for treats.
No.
We should go see them.
Did you know there's a suicide forest in Japan?
I do.
Do you know what it's called?
No.
Me neither.
Nice. I know that your son's hero, Logan Paul, is not allowed to return to Japan because he filmed videos mocking the people that were hanging in the forest. You're doing a great job everywhere with your kids. He doesn't love Logan Paul. He doesn't even know who Logan Paul is. He likes his drink.
Oh.
I assume he doesn't know who he is. He's not in Fortnite, so
I've never.
He doesn't watch WWE, so I don't think he could know.
Nope. If it's on Fortnite, I think it's Star Wars.
I don't think he's on Fortnite.
It's Star Wars time in Fortnite.
I know
so.
Sabrina Carpenter's on Fortnite, and every time I see like a random person in there, I'm like, "What is this game?"
It makes no sense.
But like Call of Duty has Seth Rogen on it now, and Jay and Silent Bob, and it's like you can play as their skins. Which again, I'm never buying a skin because I can't see myself in the game because Call of Duty is a first-person game.
Oh.
So why the fuck do I want to have somebody else enjoy things for my money? But I do enjoy when I'm running around and like a ghost face is opposite me. I'm like, oh, that makes the game more fun. Thank you for buying that.
Yes, it's 100% makes sense.
Yeah, but I'm not paying shit. You get to see the stock guy that they gave me to start with because I'm not paying shit.
Godzilla is in Fortnite as a playable skin.
Ooh.
No, it's not cool because Godzilla is like normal sized and he runs around with like assault rifles.
How come you can use normal, but I can't?
Because normal sized
Because
is.
to me, a normal sized Godzilla is pretty fucking big.
Ooh. Reverse Uno. I don't like how it feels. You're right. He is an abnormally small
The
Godzilla.
version of this I saw the same movie, but I had breaks because it gets back to Joe Bob Briggs talking about the production of the movie. And the movie. This is the one that ends with the most interesting, I'd say famous, I don't know. This is the one that ends with the best, I think, moment in Last Drive-In history. And it's probably on YouTube still.
Oh, the one cut of the dead one?
Yeah.
Okay. Episode.
After the movie's over, Joe Bob Briggs does a wrap-up. And if you've never seen it, go to YouTube and type in Joe Bob Briggs or Last Drive and keep rolling. It's like one of the most inspiring 7 minutes maybe of things I've ever seen, where he gets up and he talks about how, you know, if you want to make a movie, just fucking make a movie. He's like, you don't have to go to fancy film school. There's nothing that you can't learn in a book for $20 that you can't get out of film school at this point. It's everywhere. You can learn on the internet for free. Cameras are cheap. People are shooting movies on their phones. You know, there's no Hollywood. If the Kenichi Uneda made this movie for nothing in Japan, and now Hollywood's calling him. You know, it's this very inspiring thing about how, like, stop saying you don't have enough money. You have enough money. You know, stop saying you don't have enough time. He's like, if you only have 7 minutes, use that 7 minutes a day. Like, just, you have time. You have money. It's like, it was the most inspiring thing coming off of seeing the end of One Cut of the Dead for the first time, where I swear to God, I just watched Rocky go to the distance with Apollo Creed. I'm so excited. And then this guy's cutting the best promo ever for just fuck everything that tells you can't do it. He's like, and when you wake up tomorrow, don't say aspiring writer anymore. That's not a real thing. He's like, you're a fucking writer. You get up and you're a director. And you have your times where you do that stuff every day. It was so cool. It inspired me to never do it, but I was inspired to think about doing it, which is pretty good.
I remember because you've brought that up before with Joe Bob Briggs. I didn't know it was One Cut of the Dead was the episode that he...
Because even he was inspired by it.
Of course. Look at it.
Yeah.
It came out. I finished watching that movie and I want to go like, yeah, I need to do something now.
There are a couple times a year where I get that itch really bad. And the biggest one is when I
The
go...
gonorrhea one?
Yeah, the itch. Fuck. I hate being burned both by you and my gonorrhea.
That's what I hear.
The biggest one for me is when I go to the film festival right down the street from my house. Because these are just all, like, they're not all from Buffalo or anything like that, but there's people from Ontario, usually people from very, close.
That
And
you can drive.
they all shot in places where it's like, oh, they just went to those woods over there. And because of our location, we have cool shit to shoot on.
A bunch of movies now. Quiet Day.
Quiet Day. Yeah.
Quiet Day 1.
A Quiet Day, Day 2.
A Quiet Day, Day Place.
Yeah. A Quiet Day. Do you think the movie would have made more or less money if it was called A Quiet Day? Because that doesn't sound any worse to me.
No, it really
It doesn't. It sounds pretty good, actually.
Yeah, that's going to be the next one. A Quiet Day, Place 2. Place 3.
What was the last one called? A Quiet Place. No, Day 1. That's why we got here. I took the road back.
It's really not hard to find out where I am.
That film festival I always leave it just going, fuck, I could do, like, maybe not the full, there's some really good shit there. But there's a lot of short films locally produced, and I'm like, why have we never done this? And then I watch this movie, and I'm like, fuck, why have we never done this? And then, like, I sit down to try to start doing it, and I'm like, oh, that's why. Because it's hard. Doing things is hard. It's not in my nature.
No.
It's never been in my nature to do things.
No, my nature is to just sit and wait for something to happen around me.
Yeah, well, you're naughty by nature.
Not because I hate you.
You had lyrics and flow.
I thought it was Hustle and Flow with Terrence Howard.
Was there a guy named Hustle and a guy named Flo in that? It feels like there's got to be.
It's got Tango and Cash and Turner and Hooch
Doesn't
kind
it?
of vibes.
Doesn't it? There better be like a guy named Hustle and a guy named Flo. Or no, like a waitress, a southern waitress named Flo.
Oh boy. We're moving into actual things I'm interested in watching now.
No, it doesn't. It says here that it was DJ Shrug. DJ Qualls is in that movie? What is this movie?
Hustle and Flow?
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
DJ Qualls is in that movie.
DJ Qualls should be in every movie.
Well, it stars piece of shit Terrence Howard.
Why is he a piece of shit?
I believe. See, I don't like speculating, so I'll just go with the latest thing that I know that he said that he turned down playing a role in a biopic because the guy turned out would have to kiss a guy, and he's like, I would have to burn my lips off, and it's like,
Oh,
that's the level to which he's a piece of shit of just that one thing. But I think there's like.
there's probably, well, if that's
think
the
there's
one thing
other-
you know.
I think there might be more violent and deviant things going on in there too. It'll get cut if there isn't. And if there is, fuck them.
Yeah. But you know what? That's enough.
It does have Taraji P. Henson in it, who I do like, because you coughed over it the first time. There you go. I feel like you're being very antagonistic today. I don't know where this is coming from.
I feel like I have been more than peaceful towards you considering the circumstances.
Well, Ludacris is also in this movie. We're going to cover Hustle and Flow now.
Is Ludacris in the Fast and the Furious movies?
Yeah.
He's like a computer hacker.
That's my favorite moment in the series is when Ludacris in like the 6th movie just turns around. He's like, well, I'm also an expert computer hacker. And I'm like, of course you are, Ludacris.
You know what?
It's my favorite moment in the whole series because that's the moment where you're either all in or you're all out.
I just accepted it.
Me too.
It wasn't until I did like a rewatch or I was watching it with the kids or something. I'm like, hey, wait a minute.
Watching with the kids, there's no dicks in that.
See, that was just supposed to be a Pete thing, but somehow I'm mixing my family life with my professional life here.
And there's also a scene over the credits because we went full meta at this point. When the credits are rolling, and I'm sure you hated this because it's a distraction, they pull out even further, and we're watching the actual crew shoot one cut of the dead. So we're watching people film the people filming the people.
Yep.
It's. I wish there was a whole 4th act that was watching the actual crew one cut of the dead getting their shots. They got their crane shot on a ladder.
There you go. The 4th act is the credits.
Yeah. Oh, you have credit check?
Well, no, because that's the 4th act. That's why there were no credits.
I know, but you had a perfect segue into the credit check.
I don't have a credit check. I didn't understand any of it, Brian. I don't know what my solution is, but I'm going to find one. I can't do this for the next 10 years.
4 weeks.
Same difference.
They all are going to be in foreign languages.
Yeah. So I got to fix this. I don't know how, but I'm gonna.
Do you have Nick Cage?
I'm looking it up. I got another edition from news my mother sent Pete.
Oh, good.
I just got to find her in my emails. Not my emails. What is this called? Text messaging. What is her name again?
Well, you're looking it up. Do you want to hear something about the crows in Japan?
Yes.
Now that I'm reading it, you might actually just pack onto the things you don't like about me. The growing crow population has become a concern in urban areas. There have been government programs meant to curb the crow population, but the crows have often outsmarted them by, for instance, building decoy nests to undermine their attempts to destroy all the crow nests.
I've heard about this. I've heard about all of these terrible things they do to try to scare crows away.
Ooh, scarecrow. They try that one?
You know what? They haven't.
I'll miss you most of all.
I think they were afraid of it being a Jeepers Creepers situation.
Well, that makes sense. It is Japan, and there are ghost girls and shit everywhere.
Yeah, you got to be careful. All right.
Never be too careful.
All right, here we go. Nicolas Cage news from Pete's mom.
Pete's mother.
The Surfer is Nicolas Cage at his most unhinged.
That's not possible.
Oh, no, now it blocked out because it wants me to subscribe. All right, well, that is the news. And you know what? As near as I can tell, do you know what The Surfer's about?
Yeah, it's about a guy who tries to take his son surfing at a place that he surfed when he was younger, and that's been overtaken by the locals, and they don't take too kindly to foreign people coming to surf.
Yeah. Is it foreign people? I thought it was just like
He's not part of their...
non-cool dudes.
No, it's because you don't belong here. Ooh. And things get... it's a slow burn, I think, to probably some Nick Cage violence.
That's what I'm very excited.
They got good reviews.
They all get good reviews.
That's not true.
Name me one poorly received Nicolas Cage film.
Ghost Rider Spirits of Vengeance.
That was like 5 stars.
Out of 100 stars. I'm going to do my Nick Cage one now.
Ooh.
Recently, Voodoo, or Fandango at Home as it's now called, annoyingly, had a 25 Nick Cage movie collection for $25.
Holy cow.
How many of these Nick Cage movies can you assert are for sure Nick Cage movies? Now, I've written 25 titles here. They may not all be from the Nicolas Cage 25 film collection. So I just want a simple yes or no, that's a Nick Cage movie, or that's not a Nick Cage movie. Kick-Ass.
Yes.
The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Yes.
Knowing.
Yes.
Lord of War.
Yes.
Drive Angry.
Yes.
The Old Way.
Yes.
Astro Boy.
Yes.
Joe.
Yes.
The Frozen Ground.
Ooh, no.
That's a real one.
Oh, really?
USS Indianapolis, Men of
Yes.
Courage.
You forgot the colon.
Colon, Men of Courage. Bangkok Dangerous.
Yep.
Primal.
Ooh, I'm going to go, yeah.
That's a fake one.
Ooh.
No, it was real. I knew you were lying. You didn't know. You have to know that they're real. Not just guess if they're real. Like, tell me if you know for sure this is a real movie.
Oh, okay.
The Cotton Club Encore.
I don't know.
That's real. Inconceivable.
I don't know.
That one's real, too.
Holy
I
cow.
have to make up a lot because some of these are so stupid. Army of One.
Yes.
Deadfall.
Yes.
Dying of the Light.
Yes.
Seeking Justice.
Yes.
Between Worlds.
Ooh, I don't know.
That's real.
I thought so.
Arsenal.
Yes.
Are you back to guessing?
No, I remember seeing Arsenal.
Left Behind.
Yes.
Mom and Dad.
I don't know.
That one's real. It's a horror movie with
Ooh.
Selma Blair. It's actually pretty good.
Ooh.
Just a movie that titled 211.
Yes.
You know that one?
Yep.
Outcast.
I don't know.
That one's real. Looking Glass.
I don't know.
That was real too. Those were all Nick Cage movies. 15 of the 25 I'd never heard of before. I didn't make up any of those. Those are all real ones. When you get to stuff like Between Worlds, Arsenal, Outcast, Looking Glass, you just leave them as they are.
Yep. Some of them are, he's not in them a lot, or they're tiny little things, but the climb Mount Nicolas Cage is tough. There's a lot of movies. A lot.
These were almost universally from what I consider his down period.
There was no down period, Brent.
Do you want me to read the list again?
I once thought there was a down period in Nicolas Cage's career. There is no down period. You
Arsenal?
go back. What year did that come out?
I didn't write them down.
You know what then he did right after that?
Looking Glass?
No, probably The Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Yeah, the down period.
No, that was peak Nicolas Cage fighting Dr. Octopus.
This is the best Nick Cage news I've come along and across in a long time because I was like, I don't know half of these movies, and I literally watch movies all day.
So you bought it, right?
No, that's not worth $20. I heard you owned the two good ones, Kick-Ass and The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Motherfucker.
Oh, it's too late now. We're in Japan.
I hate you.
Why? I took you on this lovely trip.
To my basement.
Still down here.
I know. I need to get some new posters down here.
So when they're doing these shots, when you're showing you how the movie's made, you get people falling down just slightly off camera. The cameraman breaks his back at one point, and they just have to run with the camera, holding the camera.
And when you watch it the first time, the camera's just lying on the ground for
Yeah.
a while, and you're saying, interesting.
What a weird choice. Yep.
You end up saying that a lot about after, like you said earlier, when his wife had been knocked out, and then she pops back up with an axe in her head in the middle of the climax.
Yep.
And then just vanishes again. Never referenced.
Because they're starting to build the human pyramid to try to get the last shot, which again is the most inspiring thing ever. You get just crew just dodging their way, just barely missing the camera frame. You get the wife again showing why she was not an actress anymore.
It's a lot of fun to see how all of the shots are done with the dummies and the special effects, the practical effects.
And all those effects being done on the fly. Like oh shit, we got to get into the next shot.
Because the behind the scenes part is all one cut as well. Because it's following the... Wait, is it?
No.
It wasn't. You're right. Okay. I don't remember now.
No, it's but it's brilliant. It's the best idea. So it's not really a horror movie.
I think that it is.
The first act is
There's blood. There's heads being chopped off.
none of that. Okay, there's a drama about the French Revolution.
There's a
That's not
final
horror
girl.
movie. A fine girl.
Yeah, that mom was hot. Pom. 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 I'm going to pom Kitty later. Pom.
Oh, final girl.
Final girl, yeah.
I still was trying to figure out what you had said.
There's zombies. That's everything you need in a horror movie.
There are no zombies.
There's tons of zombies. There's people pretending to be zombies.
Could they have gone? No, I don't want to change anything about the movie, so I'm just asking.
Didn't you try to tell me that Companion was not a horror movie?
Yes, I did.
I'm shaking
It's
my
built
head at
on
you.
horror movie foundations, but it's not a horror story because the perspective we're seeing it from is not horrific.
I got Kitty to watch it finally.
Oh, good.
She hates robot movies with a passion,
Yeah.
like 100%. She liked it.
Yeah, because it's not a robot. I mean, it is in the story, but it's not being played by a robot or CGI or anything.
She really enjoyed it.
Yeah, who wouldn't?
She hated Jack Quaid so much.
Well, that's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, this character was terrible. Terrible, but
Did
I
you
love
hate
him.
him? No.
No, but I'm supposed to, but I'm glad he got
Hey.
his brain sucked out.
That's his property. let's just break this down
forgot.
to a
I
basic
forgot.
level. That is not a person. That is his property. And I think I just maybe want to walk some of that back. It occurs to me that these are probably things that were said in the South at points in history that we don't learn about in school anymore.
I feel like, I feel like that's what did happen, and that was said in the movie itself. But beyond that, I found out something even more fascinating. I jokingly said to her, because she said she's scared of robots, and I'm like, yeah, Terminator 2 was terrifying. And she was like, yeah. No, because she was young enough that the idea of the liquid Terminator,
Yeah.
this unrelenting, unstoppable thing that changes shape, it apparently scared a young kitty. So she
At
she
least
hates
that movie's
robots.
supposed to be a thrill ride. You could have just picked like the Iron Giant.
I've never seen the Iron
Me
Giant.
neither, but I know it's a robot.
Yes.
With, you know who?
Vin
Diesel. I think he sacrificed himself to save people.
That's what I think, because everyone talks about it being sad.
Yeah, and I can't think of a second thing a robot could do that would be sad.
Murder a bunch of people.
That's not sad. That sounds awesome. That's
What-
Terminator 2.
What if it was your family? Like you were friends with this robot and then it kills your whole family. What if it killed somebody's family who they liked?
Who's directing it?
I don't know, Vin Diesel?
Oh, that I'm in. It sounds great. Has he directed anything? Probably.
No. No, I don't know. If there was a Vin Diesel movie, I think I would watch it.
Vin Diesel directs Vin Diesel in The Iron Giant 2, where the actual Vin Diesel, the Iron Giant comes back from whatever mission he was sacrificed himself for, and he's been reprogrammed to murder Dom's family. And Vin Diesel, the actual Vin Diesel, has to team up with Dom, played by Vin Diesel, to stop the Iron Giant, voiced by Vin Diesel.
Oh boy.
Written by Vin Diesel.
It's like a Being John Malkovich thing.
You bring that up all the time? I've never seen it.
You see, they go inside a room and everything's a John Malkovich. Every single person.
Is that John Cusack?
Yeah, it is. But anybody can go in the room, which is inside of his head.
Catherine Keener?
I think so. That was one
Cameron
of the...
Diaz?
Yes.
I know a lot about this movie for never having seen it. Charlie
do.
Sheen does a cameo.
I don't remember. I saw it once.
I believe he does a cameo as himself with John Malkovich
John Malkovich
as himself.
As himself as well.
The only thing I know about the movie at all is that John Malkovich was told the idea and thought, that sounds terrible, and then ended up starring in it. Although, after seeing John Malkovich's movies since then, yeah, it makes sense.
What movie did he do?
He ended up liking it. He just thought the idea, the pitch was like, that sounds ridiculous.
I always thought that Malkovich is some fancy-dancy actor, but I don't think I've seen I saw The Three Musketeers.
I think he was in like Dangerous Liaisons and
I don't
shit
know what
like
that is.
that I think was like, so he had cred with the pure drama people. And then he did like In the Line of Fire, so he had action thriller people that liked him. He was great in that.
What was In the Line of Fire? Is that the Clint Eastwood?
Yeah.
Okay.
It has one of my favorite Clint Eastwood moments. As much as I don't care for Clint Eastwood that much, I do enjoy a lot of his movies. So he
Remember when he argued with a chair?
that's why I don't like him so much. Yeah, but in that movie, he's gonna have sex with Rene Russo, and he has like 1,000 belts and guns on because he's a Secret Service guy, and he finally gets them all off, and then she gets called away, and he just looks at her and goes, "Now I got to put all that shit back on." It's one of my favorite moments. He was recently in a movie called Opus, and he's fantastic in it. He plays a cult leader who's a musician, like a musician from like the 70s or 80s, probably the 90s now because the way time moves. He's a musician from years ago who disappeared, and he has his own compound, and select few famous people are invited to witness his new album that's coming out for the first time in years. And he gives this completely insane, whacked out performance with one of the greatest scenes I've ever seen of him dancing and singing his first thing to just a round of just like 6 people. And it's insane. It's great. It's one of the best performances of the year. You'll see that probably at the Scary Value Awards at some point because
Interesting.
He's so fucking entertaining in this movie.
It's came out this year.
Yeah, movie's okay, but
his performance,
it's unbelievable. Like what does he do? I'm guessing he just shows up in movies and does stuff like that, and it's always pretty great.
I don't know, because everything I've seen him in, I think he overacts.
I don't think I've seen him in anything, but he's overacting in this movie. But it's amazing.
Well, it sounds like it fits the character.
You know what you've seen him in? That was great. RKO 281.
I saw that once.
Oh, I thought you liked that movie.
I don't remember it.
The Making of Citizen Kane?
Yeah.
He played Mankiewicz, the guy that wrote the thing. He's great in that movie. Is he in Marvel anywhere?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
He's the Mandarin.
No, that's Ben Kingsley.
That's Gandhi.
Yes?
That's all I got.
I'm a lot of Japan facts. I burned through them too quick with the awkward tension between us.
What else do I know about Japan? Tokyo's pretty big. I saw a picture of it once. It's just city.
It's most people in any city in the world.
It's a giant city.
I didn't even need my notes for that one. Mostly because I could just look out the window.
I know they have vending machines that sell everything.
That's right.
Like used underwear.
People.
I don't think
Places,
there's people in there.
Things.
No. I know they have different flavors
Nouns.
of Coke. Different flavors of potato chips. Mm-hmm. I have a bag of chips upstairs from the...
All that and?
Yeah, all that and this bag of chips I bought at the, whatever the weird food, the exotic food store is.
You won't believe this, Pete, but that's come up on this podcast before.
That I don't know what it says on it?
No, that you bought these chips and then you were told there was metal in them.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to say. They're still there. I'm afraid to eat them.
You should be thanking me we got this trip because your life's pretty boring if that story came up twice on this podcast.
Because the chips are still there. They haunt me. They stare at me. I don't know what to do with them.
Eat them.
I can't. There's a big warning on it. And everybody I brought it up to except you has said, you probably shouldn't eat those.
When have I ever steered you wrong?
That's right. One time you did tell me to take my face out of the non-Newtonian fluid.
That's also been said in this podcast before.
I know, because that's like life advice that has seemed really good to me. Because it turns out when you do stick your face in it, it's really hard to get it out.
I was pretty sure you were going to say I steered you wrong when I told you we were going to Asia, and then we didn't go to Asia. But I guess you're over it, so that's nice.
Where's Asia?
Asia. He looked Asian.
You told me we were going to Japan.
That's Asia. Japan's in Asia.
No, Japan's in Japan, dum-dum. Tokyo's in Japan. Asia is in Asia. Asia's a continent. Japan's an island.
Is that right?
Yeah. It's its own continent because Australia is also a continent, and that's an island.
And Antarctica.
Yeah, see?
So you got it. 2 for 2.
And Hawaii, I guess.
2 for Tuesday.
Super Taco Tuesday.
Because it is Tuesday.
I don't want tacos.
Well, I think that this trip's going to get better for you as we go on.
Oh, yeah, where are we going next?
Oh, that's a good question.
Oh, look at my fingers again. Next.
don't like the implication that you're not enjoying yourself.
It's not an implication. It's an application for a job for new best friend.
Whoa. It took you 10 years to watch It Follows. You're not innocent. Next week,
That was a fun movie.
we're going to go to South Korea.
Where's that?
A little south of North Korea.
Ooh, exciting.
And we're going to watch The Wailing.
Is this that movie where it's about the commercial hunting of whales?
Nope.
Okay,
It
good.
is a 2-hour and 47-minute long
What?
South Korean horror drama. And I've been looking forward to seeing it my whole life, and I just never had the opportunity because it's a little long. Now, you've got nothing but time. So I feel like this is a good week to... Why are you staring at me?
Go back? Mm-hmm. How long?
Critically acclaimed.
How long?
Next week.
Did you really say 2 hours and 47 minutes? That's almost 2 times how much I allow in a movie.
I did say that. But what are you going to do? I can't name a second South Korean horror movie. But a region not known for its horror.
What? What? I know movies come from there. In fact, I thought this movie came from there.
That's racist.
Because I thought all movies came from South Korea, and I thought Godzilla destroyed anything that they tried to film in Japan. Because he's really territorial about what he's allows. He's like, no. I'm the only thing that comes out of Japan. He should be their ceremonial emperor.
I'm going to give this one to you because you've been kind of a grouch the whole time, the whole trip, the whole flight over.
Give what to me?
We're not going to watch The Wailing
Oh, thank me.
because there is a movie that I consider an actual masterpiece that came from South Korea, and you've already seen it, and you know it, and you love it. It's called Train to Busan.
The Train to Busan?
Yeah.
I love that movie.
So I guess we can do that instead.
No, the Train to Busan.
Oh, the Train to Busan. Oh, wait, no, I said it right. Shit. I lost. That's the Train to Busan game.
You'll be hearing it a lot next time because I'm going to bring it up every time we talk about this movie.
I do know that The Wailing is very critically acclaimed.
3 hours. I'm so thank you for changing it. That was not a fun joke, by the way. It's none of this has been a fun joke, but Jesus, how long is the Train to Busan?
I think it's like 100 minutes or something like that.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all.
That's really close to that. I had to do the math in my head, and it took me a second.
I saw it. I saw it.
The steam comes out of my ears. My eyes roll back.
A little hand with a calculator pops out of your ear and starts trying to tell you what it says.
Fred has still never shown me the secret buttons on the calculator that let you do secret things.
I think she's messing with you now.
I don't. I've brought it up to other people, and some of them have said like, "Oh yeah, I know what they're talking about," and other people are like, "What are you talking about?" So I'm still conflicted. I have no further news to update. But
Pete, do you have the internet?
yeah, my phone's broken, and it hurts my finger to use it because it's all cut up.
You could Bing that shit.
Bing Crosby? No, wait. What do you mean? Look up what? Secret buttons on a calculator?
Yeah.
Why
Can
am I
you
going
do
to do
fractions on a standard calculator? I feel like I've just told you what to Google.
But
Or
why?
Bing.
Okay.
Or Ask Jeeves.
See, here's the problem. That requires me to do something. Whereas if I just wait around until I remember when Fred's in the room with me, I can then ask her again.
It's been months. That's never happened.
No, it hasn't because I don't remember.
Well,
or
you're
we're
too
not
busy
in the same-
saying, honey, look at those dick and balls.
Kids, come quick.
Was Kitty just really enjoying the movie and just like was passive on it?
What?
I imagine she was getting a kick out of
Jackass?
watching people get hit in the
Oh.
nuts because it's hilarious.
It is. We like Jackass.
Yeah.
It's really funny. She really likes Johnny Knoxville with the gray hair.
I like it too. I buy every one of them. I buy all of them. They all have 0.5 movies afterwards. I buy them all.
Apparently, there is some part of me that just enjoys watching people get hurt.
I see. It's not even that for me. I enjoy their enthusiasm for what they do.
That's it.
It's a little bit of a one cut of the dead thing.
That's just it. It's just how excited they are. You feel like inspired. They're doing some really stupid shit.
I wouldn't
but
do
you're like,
one thing they do, but watching how much glee they get out of doing it just really, it hits me in a way that most movies don't.
That's true. Well, One Cut of the Dead did.
That's why I never liked the TV show as much, because I feel like there's fun stunts in that, way too much skateboarding, but the show is fine, but the movies are just like, these men are psychotic. And the last one, the fourth one, because they're like so much older now, there's like a poignancy to it about like chasing your dream to the dream's end. It was like, I was kind of moved by the movie in a way as they're shitting in each other's mouths. I was like, these guys really did it, didn't they?
They really did.
And they introduced like a next generation of them, and I'm hoping that'll pay off at some point. We'll get another one with those other people because they all were fine. Obviously, you have your favorites and stuff like that. Nothing to me is funnier than like watching Johnny Knoxville, who has a successful enough career without doing this.
He's made movies.
Yeah, like she's been pretty good in some of those movies too. Like he could just do that. And then you see him like just how excitedly giddy he is to make people get shot in the dick, and I'm like, I don't know, something about it is. It's
I'm not going to disagree with you.
It's true art in its purest form, in my opinion. It's man getting hit in the groin by football made real, and it's amazing.
I said the same thing.
Unlike the Vin Diesel thing, where I can't explain what my fascination is with Vin Diesel movies, I completely do understand what I like about Jackass, and I don't know, I'm inspired by it and I'm proud of it, and I'm like.
It is. I'm never ever going to follow up with what they do. I'm not that level. But
I wouldn't do one thing they do.
But they just don't stop.
No, it's amazing.
And they enjoy it so much. They enjoy each other's discomfort. They enjoy just spending time with each other.
I enjoy the stupid things, like when they're just like running around with the razor cutting each other's hair off when they're not paying attention. Like that's amazing to me. Because like you have to walk around like that now.
Yep. So that's good stuff. But how do we get on that? I could talk about Jackass for a while, I reckon.
It's pretty great. I saw them all in the theater. I did. I saw every one of them.
I think I saw the first
3 in
two.
3D was a revelation.
Oh, no, I missed that one. I didn't watch that till later.
Oh, I don't think I saw 4 in the theater because I think it came out COVID times.
It did, because then you bought it and I watched it.
Yeah, I bought it when it came out because I was so excited. I watched it immediately, which I never do. Did you see what I bought on Vudu? I waited for it to be on sale. It finally was on sale. It was also playing for free, but I'm not going to watch it with the commercials. For $5, one of the greatest movies of all time, one that we're definitely going to have to cover at some point, sooner than later.
I'm shaking my head. I'm trembling in disbelief. What is it?
Frankenhooker.
Frankenhooker.
If you've never seen Frankenhooker,
I've never seen Frankenhooker.
You are
maybe I've seen Frankenhooker.
For a treat. Because I remember seeing the box for it at Blockbuster growing up and never rented it.
I remember the box.
Because I thought it was like, it looked stupid. And it is stupid, but it's my kind of stupid. Because I finally saw it one day, probably on the last drive-in again. This is why I love the last drive-in. And I'm watching this movie, and it is one of those fucking crazy, wild, hilarious 80s style horror movies where every choice it makes is right. And at some point, hookers just start exploding, and I'm like, this movie is amazing. And we have to cover it because I enjoyed it so much. The lead performance is comedy gold of the titular Frankenhooker.
Is there anybody I know in that movie?
No.
Okay.
No, but it is going to defy your expectations and
I'm
be
excited.
like, this movie is actually really great.
I'm assuming the 80s?
Yeah. Maybe 1990, but shot in the 80s.
Yeah.
Something around that time period. I was blown away by the movie.
All right. I'm excited. I'm not watching the Tron de Busan now.
No, you have to watch it because that's next week.
Nope, I'm watching Frankenhooker.
You can just watch it while we're on the flight over.
Oh, God. How long of a flight is it?
From Japan to South Korea?
Yes.
I should have looked that up. Would have made good color for this part of this episode.
See, your whole concept is in shambles.
It's a less of a flight than we took from Chicago.
I got nothing. Chi-Town.
The
Windy City. Did you know that Chicago is not called the Windy City because of the wind speed? Buffalo, in fact, is a windier city than Chicago. It was called the Windy City because of the pompous speeches that their politicians would do. There's the long-winded. See, so they were the Windy City.
Did you know that New York never sleeps, but also no city does because it is not an autonomous thing?
Sometimes cities sleep.
No,
they
not
do.
once.
They do. All the lights go off. The building starts snoring. I've seen it.
Where?
Children's books. The construction vehicles also have faces, and they do their jobs.
You're reading the children's books while your kids are watching Jackass 4.5.
I got to make sure.
Good night, Moon.
Look, I got to
Good
make
night.
sure there's nothing questionable in the books that the kids are reading.
Well, everything that's questionable will be banned soon, so it's all right. Or maybe by now.
Yeah, possibly. We're filming ahead.
No. Why did you spoil everything? We waited until July to go on this very expensive trip to Japan. I feel like you're not buying into this concept for some reason, and I don't understand what makes you so angry about it.
I'm looking around at all the Japanese things in my basement.
Those are people, Pete. You can't just call them things.
Oh, look, there's a Spider-Man. Hello, sir. Konnichiwa.
They love American culture.
Oh, look, there's the Descendants from the Disney Channel.
They love American culture.
Oh, look, there's some toilet paper.
Actually, that's the Hiroshima Shrine. I can't believe you just said that.
Well, now you've made me out to be the bad guy.
Yes, in the scenario of us not going to Japan, you are the bad guy. Do you know who delivered the bomb for Hiroshima? Quint from Jaws.
Yeah, he did.
Do you think that the purpose of tying, well, I know that's what U.S. Indianapolis was doing, but do you think the purpose of the end of that speech, where he says, anyway, we delivered the bomb, that's how he ends it, do you think that his character thinks he's cursed?
What do you mean?
That he was part of, USS Indianapolis gets attacked by Japanese submarines. He's never angry about that part. He's angry at the sharks. You know, just if you take his story. Do you think that he feels like he was damned because he had a part in delivering the bomb? Because the way he ends that by saying, anyway, we delivered the bomb, it was like, it's like a chilling way to end that with, like, I don't think that he blames that situation on anybody but the sharks. Because he's like, yeah, you know what? I did deserve to be blown out of the water.
That is an in-depth take that I've never considered. I never even considered how much he hated sharks because of that.
Yeah. He hates the sharks, but he doesn't hate, he's not mad at the Japanese submarine.
No, because that's part of war.
It doesn't feel like he's that thrilled about what his mission was. Like, it doesn't, when he ends it by drawing it back to the bomb, it feels like to me that was a comment on him going, so all this shit, you know, it's kind of deserved.
Okay, I just took it as maybe that was just his general apathy as it's part of war and he doesn't care. That was the mission. It was the sharks that made everything off mission and was,
I guess. I don't know. Maybe that's true. No, you could be right. I feel like the way it doesn't make any other sense to me why it would loop back around to, you know, the way he closes the story by, anyway, we delivered the bomb. And it's like,
and then it leads to that awesome song.
Because maybe it's because it's not so much like the character Quint, but I'm just thinking of it from the perspective of Steven Spielberg, who I'm going to guess was not pro dropping atomic bombs based on his works that he's made. I don't know. He was pro-American with his...
Are you looking into the things that go on not on camera to describe movies again? I remember this from the David Lynch times. Because none of that, I don't know what you're talking about now. Steven Spielberg was just making movies back then. I don't think he had feelings or emotions. He just makes movies.
Oh, boy. I'm remembering things from the David Lynch times, too.
Yeah, why are you looking at me now?
I don't know. Let's go ahead. We got to get on this. Well, we're going to spend the rest of the week here in Japan, and the next Tuesday we'll take off for South Korea. And why can't you just be like, yeah, that sounds fun?
Yay, that sounds fun. Hey, that's fun. Yay, that sounds fun.
Don't mock me in front of the Hiroshima exhibit.
I'm sorry.
Well, sayonara from us in Japan. We'll see you next week when I don't know how to say hello or goodbye in South Korean.
Konnichiwa, bitches. What's that from?
Just now?
No, it was somebody said it. I don't know who. It was from a thing. It might have been the Chappelle Show. Konnichiwa, bitches.
I was trying to think of, was it Godzilla?
Oh, yeah, that's where it's from.
Yeah. Remember when we couldn't figure out how to say sayonara? When I was slowly learning Japanese, which I gave up on a year ago. And
yeah, you were learning Japanese.
And then I had to look up goodbye. I was like, oh, sayonara. I didn't get that far.
No, I don't remember that. But
I know Mizu means water.
I know that domo arigato, Mr. Roboto means...
Thank you very much, Joe.
Yes.
Mr. Roboto.
Actually, I thought it was Mr. Roboto. That's what domo arigato meant.
Oh, you think it's just a quick translate?
Yeah, like that one song. Frere Jacques, Brother John.
That's not what the song is.
Brother John.
That's not what the song is.
Yeah, that's what you say. But
yes, I do. It's Frere
that...
Jacques, dormez-vous, and then in English, it's Are You Sleeping, Brother John?
No.
Yes.
It's a translation song.
You think that the song is Frere Jacques, Brother John, Brother John.
100%.
When you get to the Are You Sleeping, dormez-vous? You think it's the next line?
Are you sleeping? Are you sleeping? Dormez-vous. Dormez-vous.
I gotta say, it sounds right. Even though I know it can't be.
It is. It's 100% that way. I remember I had the same argument with Kitty, and she said the same thing you're saying. So you're both wrong.
I feel very confident in saying I'm not wrong on this.
Both of you are dum-dums.
And that's coming from a parent who watches Dicks and Balls with their kids.
Oh, I was reading the book. I wasn't
Like,
really paying
were
attention.
they like, your kids, were they like, they're not terrified, I think, what they saw on screen. They're terrified about the fact they watched it with their parents.
No, I don't know. They were pretty traumatized. Sam kept talking about it the whole next morning, and he left getting on the bus talking about it, so I really don't know how the day went.
Pete, I want you to think about being 9 or 12 years old. And you're sitting watching something with your mother, and suddenly there's Dicks and Balls on screen. What do you think is the most traumatizing part of that?
Nothing.
Especially for Sam, because he has, presumably, Dicks and Balls.
I think that's why he was thinking about it. He's more the trauma.
I don't want to. I think his trauma comes from like watching it with his parents.
I saw Monsters Ball in the theater with my mom, and there was no problems.
Make me feel good.
Yeah, I was like, "See that, Mom? See that?" I'm not sure my elbow. Nothing weird there.
No, it explains enough.
Just normal parent-child behavior.
So One Cut of the Dead, 2 thumbs way up. Great start to the trip, if I may say so.
I can't argue with you because this is a great movie.
It is a great movie. And next week we have another great movie. One of my all-time favorite movies.
The Wailing. If I
Your
watch,
face when I told you how long that movie was.
if I end up watching The Wailing instead of Tron to
No,
Busan,
we're going to watch Train to Busan.
yeah, but now you've put The Wailing in my head and I wrote it down a bunch. So I might accidentally watch it and I'm going to come all prepared and angry and you're going to go, what about this movie? And I'm like, God damn it.
If you watch The Whale, well, how are you going to we're going to be together the whole time on our journey through Asia.
Kitty has been questionable about letting me out of the basement for this trip we're on. She's not pleased.
Why? Because you're actually staying home.
I think that's it. Also that I'm not working.
Oh. No, that makes sense. She'd be mad about that.
And it's nice out. I'd like to leave.
It looks like we're definitely going to do the Train to Busan and not The Wailing, Pete, because a flight from Japan to South Korea appears to be only about 2 hours long. So we don't have time to watch The Wailing. As you know, it's 2 hours and 47 minutes.
I see.
So
Well,
good news.
Can't argue with that logic.
Right?
I guess not.
Who
You
would
win.
want to?
You win again.
I love Train to Busan. Love One Cut of the Dead. Think we're having a hell of a trip around Asia.
I got nothing. You can end this farce on your own.
This is the problem. I'm trying to end it on a happy note, and you just keep shaking your head at me. And you keep going to that vending machine trying to buy that knife in there. And I don't know what you need to open so badly.
Do you know you can buy dirty underwear? Did I say that?
Yeah. It's the third story you've retold in this podcast.
I think I know what vending machine I want to get to.
I think I know some of the pranks that the Japanese people get up to in those vending machines. Did you know that people customary to take their garbage home with them because there aren't a lot of places to throw your garbage in public because of the one terrorist attack in like the 90s? They just got rid of most of the
garbage. I
garbage
didn't know
bins.
that.
I mean, look around. Do you
Yep.
see any Japanese garbage bins down here?
Nope.
Well, then my point is proven. Well, we learned a lot today.
Do you know that dragons in Japan don't have wings?
Because they're Komodo dragons?
No, that's just how the Eastern dragons
Oh.
don't have wings. They're like the big long worms with legs. So I guess like lizards. But they got dragon heads. I think Kitty's got one on her arm.
Weird you wouldn't know that, to be honest with you. But okay, we'll see you next week when we are in South Korea. I guess I won't even bother going through the fun of having a landing plane in Korea. And
Oh, it took me a while, but don't think once I figured it out, I was not hurt.
I had a whole bit where we're going to accidentally land in North Korea. And now it's just out the window.
Is North Korea the bad one?
Yeah,
Don't go
it
there.
was going to be very funny, and people were really going to enjoy it. But you've made it not that way with your negative attitude.
No One Cut of the Dead you.
You know what? No, I'm not talking to you.
I saw her in the hallway.
Nope.
You don't know what that is.
All right. We will see you next week for Train to Busan. See you later.